Bashers. Hey everybody, sorry I'm late. It's an hour later than usual and I apologize for that, but family is family and you got to take care of your own when you can. And sending prayers out to Julie, my stepmother-in-law, who is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person, and she's in the hospital and she has a little bit of pneumonia and she's being treated for it aggressively. And by the time I left, she seemed a little bit better. They gave her some oxygen and she's feeling a lot better. And just prayers to her and hope it goes well, because I don't know, she's just like, she runs the whole friggin' show on that side of my family. I mean, she's just an unbelievable army of one. Incredible person, travel companion. We've been to so many beautiful countries with her. She's incredible person who is just one of the smartest people I've ever known, if not the smartest. She is the assistant to the CEO of a gigantic institution here in the United States, and she's just one of those most amazing people, and I love her dearly. So all of our thoughts to her and to you. I hope you're all very well. Melly C got in at number 1 today. I'm sorry the thumbnail was so late. Andrew, of course, reminded me I was on the Long Island Railroad on my way home, and I was able to get a thumbnail up there. And thanks for everybody for popping in. Doesn't seem like there's any Rebel streams tonight, but I did see the Franchise Club is live. If anybody watches, does anybody know what that is? Does anybody know what that is here on my show? They occasionally go and feature a little bit of Dirk on their show, but they mostly feature, some people we know very well. It's, and make an appearance here, there, and everywhere. Ush isn't on. He's in Ireland, and I hope you guys are great. Melly C, we love you. Number 1. Number 2 is Daniel Gutierrez. Great. Hey, hello, bastards. Wonder where everyone is. It's because I took so long to put the thing up. If I don't put the thing up, people can't comment. And Andy M is here, and we all know who he is now. The host with the most. Good day, kind sir. Hoping you and yours are well and thriving. Thanks. Yeah, we're getting there. Life is just a never-ending surprise package. It's just, you never know what's going to happen. Dave Fitzsimons, hope it's not serious. Well, it's pneumonia. And yeah, it's just, it's really, when they put somebody you love on oxygen, it's very, very, very scary. Ray, cool for cats. Aren't they the coolest? You want to hear a funny story? So today when I had actually started the thumbnail before I left this morning, to go out to Long Island to where she is. And I wanted to do something that looked like that. And I said, there's a 4-piece band. They're wearing gray suits with black ties and crisp white shirts. And they're a 4-piece band, and they're playing in a club that looks like a tunnel. And it said, sorry, due to copyright restrictions, we cannot do this image because it resembles the Cavern Club and the Beatles. I didn't say the Cavern Club. I didn't say the Beatles. I didn't say anything like that. And Paul came up with that great title, The Tabbies, which I thought was great. I hope you enjoyed that. I have a lot of fun coming up with the thumbnails every single day. Something new, something fresh, something that reflects what we're all into. I met a very interesting guy today, which was cool. While I was at the hospital, one of Julie's attendees was this very young guy who was wearing a No Time to Die. And I'm not going to name him yet because I just started a brand new friendship with this guy. And he was wearing a No Time to Die. He's a big Omega collector, but he's got his sights set currently on a deep, dark blue Oyster Professional. And he said, I'm having a really hard time finding it. And I said, oh, well, let me put the feelers out there, see if anybody has got one or knows one that's for sale. He hasn't had the AD experience yet, and he's looking forward to that happening to him in the future. I said, yeah, you'll enjoy that. You might do it once or twice, or but everybody should do it once. Everybody should get the royal treatment at an AD once when you're a big watch fan, like we all are. But he's looking for that dark blue dial Oyster Professional, and I said, wow, great choice. He's got some really great taste in watches. He's got a Santos. He's got a couple of really cool watches, and it was so fun to see a guy who has such a lust and a love for horology and is an Omega fan, which of course we all know I'm a giant fanboy, but the choices that he had were so well-rounded and so interesting. We talked about VC, we talked about a bunch of really cool pieces, things he'd like to acquire. He's very young. He's a very young, handsome young man, and he's got a bright future in the medical field ahead of him. And he seemed so beloved by the staff there. And everybody was going crazy for this guy. He was just such a sensation. And the first thing out of he walked in the thing and he went, "Oh, Speedy," because I was wearing the Speedy today. I'm not now. I'm wearing, look at this. She never gets much airtime because I wear my Speedmaster almost every single day, but I'm wearing the Milgauss tonight for the show. And what a terrific fella. We talked about the prices and, Rolex's wait lists. And, he wanted to know so much about how it all works. And it was kind of fun to kind of try to play a little bit of Yoda for a while, because most of the people that I know so much more than I do. But I got the chance to actually be the guy with a little bit more knowledge. And it was fun to impart it on him. What a terrific young fella. What a bright future, and what terrific taste. I mean, to have the No Time to Die, to have a Santos, and his next purchase, he wants an Oyster Professional. Could have been a sub, could have been a Daytona, could have been a lot of things, but he said, I really want an OP. He goes, I'd love a Datejust too. I said, well, that'll come in time also, along your journey. I'd say he was probably about 23. Young guy with big aspirations for some beautiful timepieces. It was just such a joy to see somebody who's not into flipping or the marketplace or any of that crap. He just loved great timepieces. What a fun thing to see, Glenn Parker's in the room. Happy Friday Eve, you lovely people. Happy Friday Eve to you, you lovely Glenn Parker. Kevin Landon's here. Number 9, upvote today. Please upvote. It really helps the algorithm of the channel. Gets the party a little bit bigger. People get to see the show, get to be a part of this incredible community that we're all part of. The Bashers are the best people. I don't know, lucky us, because, we're keeping it small, but we're keeping it solid. And everybody who's a part of this team, look at this. The latest people who have joined the gang have been so incredibly wonderful and such a big part of this concerned family of friends and aficionados. It's just, wow. I'm overwhelmed by it every single day. Ken Furby. Oh, wait a second. Let me finish this. It says, best wishes to Dirk and all the Bashers. 1 hour wait is no hardship for the Bashers to greet our leader. Oh, come on, Kevin Landon. You're the best. Ken Furby. Hey, good evening, all. I've strapped on my bashing boots for tonight's session. Some San Diego shots from my recent West Coast travels are in the gallery. Have fun, everyone. There they are. I see them, and I can't wait. Can't wait. All the best to your mom-in-law, of course. Yeah, she's just, man, you know what? My father-in-law is, he's one of my best buddies, and he's such a big watch fan. And he's the guy that, really got me interested in Omega so long ago. And he's got all the big ones. He's got the original Seamaster. He's got the Golden Eye. He's got a Speedy on the leather strap. He's got so many different pieces, and he collects it. He's not a Rolex guy. Occasionally he sees one that thrills him. I'm trying to, because he's got a 9-inch wrist. He's a big guy. He's not a heavy guy. He's just a big guy with a giant wrist. I'm trying to get him into Panerai because I'm like, oh, Dave, Panerai would be so great for you. I think you'd love it. And maybe one of these days he'll pick up on that. People are afraid of big watches, but when you have a 9-inch wrist, that's a gigundo wrist. The guy that I met today, he had a 7.25-inch wrist. So I tried on, I have pictures of me wearing his No Time to Die, the titanium one, the original one. Really, really cool watch. It's so light. I've seen them. I've never touched one, and I never wore one. And I did today. We swapped watches for a while, and I had my Speedy reduced on, and he was like, "This is smaller." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." It was pretty cool. Yeah, so thanks very much for that, Andy. Hope your stepmother-in-law's on the mend. She's, she's in a great place and they're doing great work. And she wasn't able to eat because her oxygen levels weren't correct today. They had to wait till they got to a manageable level, and she's on some serious antibiotics. And she was able. I just got the word right before the show started that she is eating dinner. So I'm grateful for all of that. Thanks so much. Andrew Aldrich, Canadian 5 balloons. Best wishes for better days for us all. Upfoot and subscribe. We start out with the Super Chat gong, as we always do. And it's almost always Andrew. Thank you, my love. Ray loves the floating start times. Not everybody does, so thanks. Not something I'm going to make a habit of. Angelo Minichello saw a really cool Cyber Beast today. It was cool. It was like mirror finish. It was very interesting. Handsome Joe LaFaro is here. Happy Thursday, Bashers. Hey, Handsome Joe. Great to see you. Hey, Ginge. It's been a while. All the best, Julie. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And look at that gorgeous Omega movement. Oh, man. That's what it looks like inside Paul's watch. But he's got a bumper movement from 1953. But I love the way that Omega used to finish their watches. Man, they had the most exciting looking movements, didn't they? So beautiful. Everybody loves Rolex, but their movements are nothing to write home about. That's why they only have 2 watches that have an exhibition case back. Melly C, get well soon, Julie. Thank you, darling. Oh, man. Thank you so much. Mart's here. iBashers time. Upvote and subscribe. You and the beautiful Bronson. Oh, Joe LaFaro. Oh, thank you. Send some flowers to your stepmom from there. I'll bring some because I'm going tomorrow morning as well. I'm going to go. It's really funny. It's like, I live in Long Island City, so it's easy for me to get on the train. And then I take the train right to the railroad, and the railroad stops right at the hospital. So it's very easy for me to get there. And Joe LaFaro, thank you so much. That's a mega super chat. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Joey. You're so beautiful. Hey, and handsome Nick Sisto, look at you, $9.99. That's a great idea, Joe. Oh man, you guys are terrific. Thank you so much. That's another one. Thank you so much. Let's give you what's a good one to give you? Let's go with Gong Woman's Husband. Andy M. Thank you, Nick. We have never sold a single watch. We have gifted watches, never sold or traded a single one ever. See, listen, I totally get it if you have a timepiece that you lusted after, and when you got it, you never had that love affair. It happens. It happens to people. But I know some people that flippity flip. And it's like, that's so not fun, because it's like, you might as well just play the stock market. If you don't love the pieces, I don't sell anything. I've never sold any. I told you guys a long time ago, because I was a very avid mountain biker. And I had this very cool Italian frame from a company called Verlichi, and it was a dual suspension, and it cracked. And they sent me a brand new one. I had bought this frame used. They sent me a brand new one. It was immaculate. I had the best rims. I put the best Gruppo on it. It was just so fantastic. There's nothing I didn't know about bikes. And it was the best of the best shocks. And my brother and I had a deli that went out of business, and I had to sell it, to pay the rent and stuff like that. And ever since then, I said, I will never allow myself to be in that position again, because I loved that frame. I loved that bike. I put it together myself, and it was such a beautiful thing. And when I love something, I just don't sell it. I've got 800 zillion guitars in this room. So much stuff. I just don't get rid of stuff. I mean, there's no sin in it. I mean, if you get a great deal on a watch, somebody offers you a great watch that you don't love, but the price is amazing. Yeah, go ahead, flip it. What are you going to do? You're going to be able to buy something that you truly love, and you're also going to be able to sell that watch to somebody who's been dying for it. And there's a little bit of kindness in that too, because you're getting this great price. And you know what? You might even be able to, instead of making a huge profit on it, which some douchey people might do, you might be able to sell it for a little bit more than you paid for, make a couple of bucks, and make somebody's day, which is great. Because there's a lot of watches out there that people really want. Eric B. Oh man, thank you so much with £4, £4.99. Let's give you some cowbell. Andy M says bracelet or NATO on the No Time to Die Milanese. The Milanese deployant on that thing. Woo! It was beautiful. The original one, not the new blue edition. Absolutely. And you know what? David, my father-in-law, has been lusting after that watch for a while, and it's a perfect size for just about everybody. And when he was able to adjust the Milanese really quickly, and he put it on him. And I took pictures of it, so now I have it. I have to send them to him, and he's just going to be looking at that watch, going, "I have to have it." And he does. He has to have it, and he should have it. Why shouldn't he have it? Kevin Landon says, I had to monitor my oxygen level for about a year after I left the hospital. Best wishes to your mother-in-law. Thank you, kiddo. Thanks so much. Yeah, she's had it before. She has an underlying condition that we're, a little worried about. So therefore it's kind of like compounded. I'm not going to get into her private world, but for her to come down with this is not the right time. So, all hands on deck. And my father-in-law she runs his entire world. I wrote her that birthday song last week. This is before she wasn't feeling well. And, the lyrics are all about her running the show for everybody. She's everybody's chief financial officer, tax, professional. She's our travel agent. She's just such a super organized person. That's why she's had such a successful career, where she's been able to run like a giant CEO's life and make sure his world, which has to run smoothly, because he's jetting all over the world for this, that, or the other. And she's the one that makes it all happen. So she does this for us, and especially for my father-in-law, for Paul's dad. And like, her out of commission is like, holy crap, man. It's like having nobody in the White House. It's really bad. So everybody's banding together, and it's just, he looks so sad the whole day. He looked so sad. And I saw him about to have a couple of little panic attacks, because he honestly doesn't know what to do, because he's just so used to relying on her for all of those things. But he's stepping up to the plate in a major way, which is great. And she deserves it. Respiratory issues are, scary things. I always carry albuterol on me, because I was very asthmatic as a child, and I've kind of acclimated to the point where it's not so bad. I got a cat. I was allergic to cats. Now I'm not anymore, thank God, because what would this show be about? I found a cat in the middle of a snowstorm, took it home, suffered for 3 months, and then never dealt with it ever again. I used to get hives. I couldn't breathe. I had to use an inhaler and stuff like that. And, respiratory issues, no joke. Mart says, the new TV series Day of the Jackal starts today. Is that based upon the original, who was in that movie, Day of the Jackal? Was that Roy Scheider? I'm trying to remember. My shows that I'm watching right now are My Brilliant Friend, which is the show from Italy. That's on season 4. I think this is the last show. I am watching the Kate Blanchett Disclaimer, which is way too sexually. It's a little dirty. It's a little smutty. It's a little softcore. Not my thing. I'm like, oh God, really? I like a Hollywood kiss and then fade to black. I don't need to see any of that stuff. I'm not a prude or anything. It's just like, I'm watching TV. I don't need to see that. You don't need to see the rides. It's just unnecessary. I don't know why there's so much gratuitous. I guess there's so much gratuitous violence. They're trying to find a balance, but we've really pushed it too far, right? I know there used to be the Hays Code back in cinema, way back in the golden age. But what are you guys watching? Is there anything fun and exciting? I really want to see Conclave, and man, do I want to see Midas Man, which is based on Brian Epstein, the Beatles manager, who died when he was 32 years old from an accidental sleeping pill overdose. He was the guy. Everybody considers George Martin the fifth Beatle, but Paul always says no, Brian was. Now, maybe musically it was George Martin. I don't know if you guys are Beatles aficionados like I am, giant crazy. For me, it's the Beatles and then everybody else. I'm a huge fan, but I think everything that the Beatles did had the trickle down effect. and we all musicians get a little, all rock musicians especially get a little piece, a little taste of what the Beatles started. Helter Skelter, more than likely the first heavy metal song ever done. Melodies, harmony, structures, the addition of those kinds of strings and somber moments. But Brian Epstein, that movie, I'm dying to see that. This guy was Jewish and gay and living in Liverpool in the 60s. He had a lot to deal with. There was prejudice against, both of those things at the time. And he was very, very successful. His parents owned a huge record company called NEMS, which is very famous. If anybody who's a record collector might have these famous NEMS editions of vinyl. They used to acquire the rights and do special editions and all kinds of great stuff like that. I would very much like to see that movie. It just hasn't gotten a US release yet. It's on Amazon Prime, so maybe I could use my VPN and watch that in London, because it's in England. You can watch it. I don't know if you guys have seen any of that, or anybody seen that movie yet. I'm dying to see it. Absolutely, 100%. Andy M's here. Thank God it's not the middle of winter for respiratory issues. Yeah, I mean, for me, whenever I had asthmatic issues, it was always spring and fall, and luckily I don't have that anymore. And I attribute all of that to getting a cat and boosting my immune system, super boosting my immune system, giving myself immunity against my allergy to cats. Because I did see an allergist as a kid. I don't know if it helped. I doubt it. I think owning a cat was having a cat. I don't like the term owning. Chris on the Upper East Side, Handsome Hugh, flying to New Orleans tomorrow to laisser le bon temps rouler with my NOLA friends. Let's get the New York iBashers together soon, mate. Let's totally do that. And you know where we'll go, because that's where we always wind up at Orsay. It's like they see me coming now at this point, Andy M says Edward Fox. I don't know what that means. What is that? Is that a show you're watching? Is that good? Yeah, very cool. MJOH, yes, I think so. Okay, cool. Nelly C says The Good Doctor. There's a $4.99 from OC, who was on my show a couple of months ago. Hey, buddy. Great concert week. 5 David. Did he play 5 nights at Madison Square Garden? 5 nights? Wow. Saw him Tuesday. I did watch a YouTube of him and he sounded terrific. And we have the Iron Maiden gig too. I don't know that I'm going to go to that. It's Iron Maiden is the band I've seen more than any other band live, period. I think I've seen them 35 times. Up the irons indeed. Cheers. And thank you for the $4.99. Let's give you some cowbell. Maybe I always go last minute to shows. I don't ever plan it. They played already in Barclays, didn't they? Didn't they already play there? Where are they playing on Saturday? At the other place? Where are they playing on Saturday? See, I don't even know, because I hate Somewhere in Time. It's my least favorite Iron Maiden record, and they're very heavily promoting the whole, I know they open up, but I've seen it. Alexander the Great. I have no interest in that record except for Wasted Years and Stranger in a Strange Land. The rest of that record, I never loved that record. I loved the next one. I loved the one before it, Power Slave, and I love the one after it, Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. Yeah, I don't know. I probably will. I probably. Oh, The Day of the Jackal Star is Edward Fox. Should I know him? You guys over on the other side of the pond know all about that stuff. Edward Fox. Should I look up who this guy is? Let me see if I know who this is. Edward Fox. Is he also in contention to be? Oh, okay. I don't know who this guy is. Is he very famous for you guys and not famous for us here? This guy. Hold on. It's a tab, right? Wait a second. It's a Chrome tab. Oh, here it is. Do you know who this guy is? Edward Fox. I don't think I know him. What would I know him from? Edward Fox interview. I don't know. I'm not off the top of my head. He's 87 years old. English actor and member of the Fox family. Starred in Day of the Jackal. He was the guy from Day of the Jackal. God, why did I think somebody else? Did we have another version of that movie? Let me see this movie, Day of the Jackal. Day of the Jackal. Oh, here you go. Wikipedia wants money. I always give them a couple of bucks every year. Michael Lonsdale, Fred Zinnemann, Derek Jacobi. That's who I was thinking of. Sir Derek Jacobi, right? At this point. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I'll keep a lookout for that. I absolutely will. Eric B says the inscription on the back of the note time to die is 0552 from the Royal Navy, 923 NATO stock number 7697 watch, waterproof. How boring am I? I think it's super crazy, sexy ass, crazy, sexy, cool, because that's a very cool watch. And I remember how polarizing it was when it came out. And man, I was like, I instantly loved that watch. Instantly loved it. Oh, they're playing at the Prudential Center. Okay. Oh, so Eddie Redmayne is taking on this guy's role. Okay. I'll always forever just look at him as the Danish girl. And an Omega ambassador. And he tends to wear ladies' watches. Do you notice that when he's spruiking for Omega? Speaking of Iron Maiden, any thoughts on the late play? Yeah, I got to see him 3 times. I saw Iron Maiden play at the Palladium and at the Pier, and I'm having a blackout on what the third show was, but I remember seeing them 3 times on the Killers tour. Drew B, thank you for the coffee, and handsome Joe LaFaro, thank you for the beautiful Heckles glass. It stays so hot. I've drank a lot of coffee today, and I had some hospital coffee, and man, let me tell you something, boy, was that bad. And it wouldn't be so bad if I didn't go to the counter and then she said $5.26 for a cup of American sludge. It was just like Folgers crystals. It was so bad. But listen, here's what Bruce Dickinson is one of my favorite singers of all time. He was a major influence, not exactly on the way I sing, but mostly on the way I perform. I looked a lot like him. I had very waist length reddish hair, and he was my role model for how a front man fronts a band. But I was a fan before. And the thing I love in retrospect, in hindsight, when you look back on Iron Maiden's time with Paul Di'Anno, it was during the new wave of British heavy metal, which is that phase of hard rock is affectionately called. There were bands like Demon and Praying Mantis and the Tigers of Pantang and Iron Maiden and Samson. Of course, Bruce Dickinson was Bruce from Samson at that time. Paul Di'Anno had something that no one else had, and that was a punk sensibility. The first Iron Maiden record is extremely punky. It's hard rock with a punk edge. Killers is a more polished affair with Martin Birch on production, because his records, all of Martin Birch's records, are some of my favorites. Black Sabbath, Rainbow, all the the amazing stuff that guy did. All those Iron Maiden records, their records have never sounded good without him. He's passed away. He's no longer with us, but he did retire, and they have another producer. It's never been my bag. But as I get older too, like I've said this to you guys a million times about records. Like if one of my favorite bands from yesteryear put out the best record of their career, I don't know that I would know that. I don't know when you get to a certain age, like Rick Beato, who's this famous YouTuber, a couple of million, 4 million subscribers, saying that older people can't write great music. Well, they can, but he was saying that they don't. Generally in your early 20s up to 30, early 30s is when your seminal works come out, your Dark Side of the Moon, your Number of the Beast, your Operation Mindcrime, your all of that stuff. Pick Your Poison, your Black Album, all the seminal records are generally when people are young and it's your creative side of your brain is firing in all cylinders. And this might be true, and we get a little bit more methodical and more regimented when we get older. We play it a lot safer. We're not as adventurous. Like, for example, take a progressive hard rock band like Yes, or one of those groups. Their latest record, even if John Anderson, the singer, was in the band, is not going to touch Fragile or Tales of Topographic Oceans or any of that stuff. This was wild abandon, and it's in your creative mind. But then he said that when you're a classical musician, you write your best stuff. John Williams, look at him. He's writing some of his best work. I don't know if anyone will ever say that his latest movies are as good as E.T. or Star Wars or Raiders of the Lost Ark or Schindler's List, which is, I've said this a million times, the most heartbreaking melody I've ever heard in my entire life is the theme from Schindler's List. And as a testament to him when Steven Spielberg asked him to write the score, because he works with him exclusively pretty much. And he had to write this kind of Eastern European, Jewishy, klezmery kind of stuff. And he asked Itzhak Perlman, probably the greatest violinist of our time, to play this piece. Itzhak Perlman wept. And he said, I don't know how a goyim like you could capture the Jewish soul, the Jewish heart, the feel of that music, because he's a genius. Because he's a genius. And he's in his 90s now. From Queens, New York, by the way. From my hometown. Fantastic movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. Maybe that might be a great movie to pop up tonight, the Day of the Jackal. I love like Sunday Bloody Sunday and The Last Good Friday. I have so many movies from that era that I absolutely love. Oh, Richard Gere was in a remake. Oh, is that true? I like Richard Gere, but he's not a great actor. You know who's not a great actor? I might have said this the other day. Well, there's so many. Some people are movie stars and some people are actors, right? And some people are both. Meryl Streep is both. Tom Cruise is a movie star. He's not a great actor. Tom Hanks is both. He's a great actor and he's a movie star. Meryl Streep is both. Then there's the Brits, and I don't think anybody's going to argue with the British when it comes to acting. They're just the best at it. I mean, all the greatest actors I've ever seen have always been British. We've got a couple of great ones here in the United States, and all over the world, some German and Japanese cinema, of course. But man, and Irish actors too, and they're having their day in the sun, aren't they? The Irish are really starting to come into their own. We've always had them, but the Brits, man, you got the RADA, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, where these people come from, the old Vic, and they're just mesmerizing. It is interesting, and disclaimer, to watch Kevin Kline, who is one of our best actors, to see him portraying a British person in a very kind of demure way. It's very rare that you see Americans put on a British accent, but man, did anybody realize that Matthew Macfadyen was British on Succession, which is a show. I don't know if you guys on the other side of the pond have caught Succession, but man, oh Shevitz was that show, and it came in like a comet and it left just the same way. It was 3 seasons and done, and it was brilliant. Everybody won awards. Great show. He's the classic posh Brit. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Love me some Joel Hoekstra, so can't miss. Oh, do you go see TSO? Now, you might not know that, but I had I'm trying to remember the guy's name because I'm getting old. But the guy, TSO, is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and they are this kind of like Christmas band that travel all over the world, and they do like Christmas heavy metal shows, and they were put together by a guy named Paul O'Neill. Now, Paul O'Neill was a guy who managed a heavy metal band called Savatage. Never really made it pop, they never became big stars, but they were a metal underground favorite. And I got a call a long 30 years ago from this guy, Paul O'Neill, who lived in Jackson Heights. And he said, hey, I've seen your band play. Would you be interested in being part of this project I'm coming up with? Come to my house. So I went to this guy's house, and he was telling me he was putting together a Christmas show, a heavy metal Christmas show. And he was telling me all about it. And he was also talking about Savatage's new record. They have a singer who's a very big heavyset guy and doesn't tour with them. He writes and sings on their records, but he does not tour with them. John Oliva. And he was telling me all about this thing, and he showed me some music, and I sang some of it, and he said, let me know if you're interested. And you know what? I wasn't. I thought, wow, that's the corniest, cheesiest thing I ever heard in my entire life. And I never got back in touch with this guy, and he's since passed away. And he was a very, very nice guy. He was very entrepreneurial. He was looking to take, this kind of operatic-y kind of, he's looking for those kind of singers. And that's the kind of guys that they have in there. As a matter of fact, a Sheen singer, Colin Smith, who is one of the greatest singers I've ever heard in my entire life, a friend and an amazing singer, not exactly a metal singer, but he tried out for them a couple of years ago. He definitely wasn't the right kind of guy for them. Because they're looking for more of the metal screamers, and he's much more soulful. He's more of like, he's like Bono meets Stevie Wonder. He's got all the great blues inflections and soul, not the right thing. And I asked him how it went. He goes, it was weird. He felt uncomfortable because it's like, I love Joel Hoekstra. Don't get me wrong. I love Joel Hoekstra is one of the main guys in TSO. He plays with Cher. He was in Whitesnake. He was in Night Ranger. He's he's beautiful. He's tall. He's got Howard Roberts fusion. He's a very cool guitar player. So is he? I don't know if he's currently touring with them, but I always thought it's a big bombastic show with fire and smoke and it's very. It's like metal Christmas. And when this guy proposed this to me, and I don't know how many other people he spoke to, I have no idea. But I remember sitting in his living room and going, oh, that's interesting. Metal Christmas, huh? Because we'll do like Little Town of Bethlehem, and we'll metal them up. And I think that they started, I don't know because I don't follow it, but I think that they have Christmas originals too. Because if you want to make money in the music business, write a Christmas song. All I want for Christmas is you. I mean, that's all she never has to work again, that broad. And she had a lot of hits. But so TSO is on Friday. Interesting. Bruce Willis was in. Oh God, was that based on the same thing? So much this material. It's been too long since I've seen that, so I'll have to watch it. A Bridge Too Far had everyone in it. That sure did. Dave Fitzsimons, hospital coffee is. Oh, it was $5.27. When I went, come on, like this isn't. And I didn't even, because I don't like Giant American Joe. I like that. I'm an espresso guy. I like I like a triple, but so I filled the cup up like this much, and I looked at her and I went, really? She goes, that's what it costs. She goes, you could go fill it up. I went, I don't want that much. I'll have heartburn, and it's to be horrible. Andy M says Saxon. You're like, I love Saxon. Saxon is part. Sorry for me forgetting for the new wave of British heavy metal. Saxon, major part of that. I've played with Saxon twice. Long Island, and we almost played with them last year or 2 years ago. We played with them in Connecticut. Biff Byford, I love them. Princess. Here's the 4 song. When I auditioned for Anthrax, my audition songs were Living After Midnight. No. Was it Living After Midnight? It was Princess of the Night by Saxon, Swords and Tequila by Riot, Another Piece of Meat by the Scorpions, and Hellbent for Leather by Judas Priest. Princess of the Night, though, that was a big one. Saxon was a huge band for people like my era that loved heavy metal. I love Saxon. Sure, absolutely love them. Hallowed be thy air raid siren. Remember that? I'll never forget, because I was such a Samson fan. Riding with the angels. He's got that fast vibrato. Riding with the angels. I was a fan of Samson, and when he joined Iron Maiden, me and my friends went to the show to see them. I saw probably 8 of that on that tour, and they're playing the Palladium, and we went around and back, and we saw Rod Smallwood, their manager. He's kind of like their Brian Epstein, and Bruce was in the car, and we were all over him to try to get autographs. And I said, could you sign it Bruce, because that was his name in Samson? And he did. So I have a tour program that says Bruce on it. And he was the air raid siren, and he kind of changed the way a lot of people perform and sing. So yeah, big fan of that. The guy had throat cancer and sings better than he ever did. So what the hell's that about? Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. Oh, the music. Oh, and David Bowie. You're correct. Bruce Willis was in the Jackal remake. That's crazy. Eric B says the klezmer scale. I love klezmer. My friend Mimi, you guys all know her from the show. Her brother-in-law, her sister went for the birthright. She went to Israel, and wound up marrying an Orthodox guy who happened to be in a klezmer band and the Stanley Miller band. And she gave me their record. It's one of my favorite records to this day. And she always makes fun of me because I know every word on that album. And she's like, "You're a psychopath." They were great. It's rock with a klezmer kind of feel to it, you know? Did you know that Daniel Day-Lewis was in the Long Good Friday? Also, best Iron Maiden live gig. Watch, please. What does that mean? But what do I think was the best time? What was my favorite Iron Maiden gig? I saw a very unique Iron Maiden show. And they played this theater out in Long Island on the Number of the Beast tour called the North Stage Theater Restaurant. And it was in Glen Cove, Long Island. And it was 82, I guess. And I went with Scott Rosenfeld from Anthrax, his brother, Jason. And when Scott wrote his book, I'm the Man, I think it's called, he has in the picture section, there's a picture of me and him and his brother. And it says, and some unknown guy. That guy is my friend, Eddie Frankie, who I brought to the show to see that. And it was great because they didn't have their full stage. They had a smaller stage because it was a smaller venue. And I mean, Bruce Dickinson changed the trajectory of that band. That's for sure, you know. You know who else is in the Long Good Friday? Pierce Brosnan. He plays an assassin that lures a closeted gay man into the showers at the gymnasium, and they kill him. Easy says, Liam Neeson, bad actor, huge star. Bananas. I don't think... Saoirse Ronan, she's gonna win an Academy Award eventually. She's nominated 4 times. I love her range. She is, I mean, the first time I'd ever laid eyes on her was The Lovely Bones with Stanley Tucci, who should have won an Academy Award for that because he was brilliant in that. And that's a role that you would never want anybody to play. Horrific. Saoirse Ronan is incredible. I don't think Liam Neeson's a bad actor. I've seen him be very good in things. He's just become, you're driving me bananas. He's just become like a caricature. And I don't know about that. Ryuki Sakamoto is an amazing artist working with Bowie, was outstanding, like conquering Everest. I don't know enough about that, but I'll take your word for it. I absolutely will. Easy says Collins should have been a huge star. That band should have been. They should have been huge. Before they were my friends, I was a fan. I popped in on that group live, and I was like, I've never seen a band this good that's not famous. I've never seen a band that good that wasn't famous. Me and my friend Mary Ryan, for those of you who don't know this story, we used to hook up and hang out. She's my old one. Her and Mimi are my 2 oldest friends, but Mary and I used to go see our friends play up in the Bronx. And she said, she had a stressful day. She's a nurse. She said, can we go out and stop for a quick drink on Queens Boulevard? We went into this bar, never been in there before, Taylor's Hall. And we went in there, and there was a band starting their set. And so I got a Amstel Light. I think that's what I was drinking. And she got a Magners cider. And this band was setting up, and she said, she saw Colin, and she's like, oh, the singer's cute. Let's stick around. I was like, oh, Jesus. And then I saw the guitar player, which is Emmett, and he had a Gibson Howard Roberts Fusion and a Vox AC30 amplifier. And I said, yeah, okay, I'll stick around for a song or two. That guitar player is a Rush fan. Or Brian May. I didn't know, because he had like a very unique guitar that only Alex Lifeson had, and a Vox AC30. You don't see that in gigs. And they opened up with a song called Give Me Life, and I was just floored, absolutely floored. I gobsmacked is the right word, because I remember, because the song starts out and it's just Emmett playing an E chord and tapping it, hitting the wood on the guitar so it just resonates, and then Colin sang, and I was like, who the fuck is that? Who is that? I mean, who are these people? We never got the name of the band. We stayed for their entire show. We blew off the Bronx. We did not go there. We blew it off. And the very next day, I was walking my dog on my corner, and I saw the guitar player and the drummer. And I said, hey, you guys, did you play Taylor's Hall last night? And they're like, yeah, right. They were Irish. And like, what's the name of your band? He goes, oh, it's Mr. Nort. You know, 'cause it was Ado said it because he's got a very, very super North Dublin accent. He's like, Mr. Nort. And I'm like, oh, wow, Mr. North. And they're like, you want to have a drink? I said, oh, yeah, I do. I brought my dog home, and then the rest is history. We became friends that 25 years ago, whenever that was. But yeah, Colin should have been a huge star. They all should have been. The band was incredible, incredible. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I got a lot of stories. Metal Monday's coming up soon. I have somebody on tap for Monday. I'll promote it and I'll let you guys know all about it. Didn't the guy? Hey, JC Kingsley, it's been such a long time. Didn't the guy that played Count Dooku in the prequel Star Wars films make a Christmas metal album? I don't know. Is that true? Did he? Christmas metal. I used to make little CDs for Christmas for everybody, for all my friends and family. Not Christmas themed. Maybe one of them had Christmas theme, but I would get like Colin and Ush and Emmett and everybody getting to play on them. I'd get all my talented friends to just contribute. You know, I haven't done that in a long time. Maybe I should do that. But I would actually make CDs, and you know, that's gone now. What do you give people now? Here's my MP. Go on my Spotify. Christopher something or other. Christopher Lee? Did he? Every time TSO played RTH or Masio, it was a great night in the party. I was just talking about you last night, Angela, because we were watching that super tall building. I think it's called The One. That's in a lot of financial trouble in Toronto right now. And it's the big first super tall building. And at some point it's on Yonge and I forget the name of that other street, but they did a shot and he goes right past Massey Hall. And Paul's like, what's the name of that? I was like, that's Massey Hall. And that's where Angelo used to work. And he's like, he worked there? Because, you know, I'm the biggest Rush fan ever. So Massey Hall, you know, I know that a lot of artists consider that their home base, but Rush certainly consider that their absolute, you know, big time. Easy E says McDonald's job is better than any hospital. Oh God, American coffee just doesn't do it for me. Played Sauron in one of the Lord of the Rings flicks. I've never seen a single Lord of the Rings movie. I read the books when I was a kid. I don't know. Andy M says you played with Saxon Biff. We're not worthy. I bound, and he's the nicest guy in the whole wide world. Biff is the night. Yeah, we played with them a couple of times. He's the nicest guy in the whole wide world. He's so great, and he still sounds freaking amazing. Andrew's here, showered in a cold beer. I've seen Liam Neeson leaning windows. Really? What does that even mean? That's crazy. Yeah, Christopher Lee. Okay, yeah. Christopher Lee is a master of horror. He's like, you know, the successor to Vincent Price. Steve Mac 3 is here. Oh, I'm late to the party. Evening, my Basher buds. Evening to you, Steve Mac. A heavy metal Christmas. Does he sing? I know Pat Boone did a metal record, which is nuts because that should never been allowed. Hitesh is here, man. That's crazy. Christopher Lee was a commando in the Second World War. His cousin was Ian. Is that true? Ian Fleming was his cousin? Who the hell knew that? That's insane. Wow. Well, who knew? Who knew? Guys, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show. It's time for the Gallery of Bashtards. The Gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bashtards. You share them with me, and I share with the world. You share them with me, and I share with the world. We start off with Andrew Wolkowitz with Olive. What is she doing? Oh, sleeping, sitting up. Oh my God. The cuteness is just unbearable. Unbearable. Oh, and then she finally gave in and just said, I'm tired, Daddy. Oh, that's so, I love the pause out. The pause out is almost as cute as that. The cross pause is the cutest thing ever. Oh, Olive, you're a beautiful. Thanks, Andrew. I know, Melly, right? Oh, man. Olive, you're just too much. Too much. Angela, we were talking about Elon Musk last night. I said, did he invent anything? It turns out he invented SpaceX, and he's an engineer there. So I do read. Turns out that Starlink, which he did invent, is being tested on all these flights on Qatar. By the way, it's Qatar, because I have a woman in my local shop who's from there, and I said, "Can you just tell me how to say it? I'm so sick of everybody getting it wrong. People are like, it's Qatar. It's she goes, no, it's Qatar, Qatar." Um, and they are testing it out. Look at that speed on that thing. Holy crap. 138.75 on a plane. Give me some of that money, baby. That sounds great. Yeah, I would love Starlink from when I do my live shows on the street. Out in the street, Starlink on my phone. Stream is really great. Out in the streets. Thank you so much for that. Uh-oh, big news. Big news. Aaron O'Malley just wants to say hi to everybody. Hello, Aaron. And he's doing really well. And he says, anything, are either of these worth seeing? Because, he lives in Vienna. Oh, Vienna. Chicago, I said, sure, it's a great show. It's Candor and Ebb. It's great, great, great. Roxy Hart, amazing, right? But one vision of Queen, that's Mark Martel. Now, I love Mark Martel. I really do. He's a tireless self-promoter, and that gets a little annoying after a while. I personally thought he should have been the guy if Queen was going to continue. I think Adam Lambert is a wonderful singer. He's just like Queen with a drag queen. And I'm not. They should just call the band Drag Queen now. And it's tiring to me because he's so over. Freddie was like, okay, he's gay, whatever, who cares? The way he did it with his, butch mustache and his, first he was all nail varnish and tights and all this stuff and super femme and all that. And then he became the butch rocker, rockabilly. Then he was the leather daddy and all that stuff. It was all tongue in cheek and kind of innuendo. Adam Lambert just comes out on wigs and platform shoes and bat wings, and it's really boring to me. I would never go to Queen is my favorite band of all time. I would never go see Queen with Adam Lambert because you know what? I saw Queen with Freddie Mercury 4 times. I don't need to see Queen with Adam Lambert. I think he's a great singer. He sings the living shit. Technically, he's a far better singer than he's one of the best singers I've ever heard in my life. Freddie was like smoking packs of Marlboros and vodka blushes and all that stuff. And he'd get on stage. He couldn't wait. He was like, "Wait, is the show over yet? I got to hit the leather bar. What time is the Mine Shaft open?" Adam Lambert's a dedicated singer and he's flawless night after night, but I just don't care and I wouldn't see it. Now, Mark Martel, he's very corny, but he sounds exactly like Freddie Mercury. It is not even funny. He's the guy that dubbed the vocals for the film. So anytime you see stuff that wasn't Freddie Mercury, like all the live shit in the studio, all voiced by Mark Martel. The band know him because they started Roger Taylor from Queen started the tribute band, and Mark Martel was the singer, and he's incredible. He's an American guy, but man, he sounds exactly like Freddie Mercury. It's scary. And I love him. And I loved his record called Impersonator. I loved it. I thought it was a great record. Great songs, great production. I loved it. Would I go see that? Yes, I totally would. I didn't realize when he showed me this picture that it was Mark Martel, but I would, Aaron, I would totally see Mark Martel. He's freaking amazing. It's a fun night at Queen, but I don't go to see tribute bands because I just think I don't get it. It's like when you go to see Bon Jovi without Richie Sambora, I would not do that. You go to see the Rolling Stones now with like 800 other people, Foreigner. There's nobody in that band. Yes. Who's in that band now? Styx. Who's in that band now? Best drummer in rock and roll is in Styx. His name is Todd Zuckerman, and he is the greatest living rock drummer. That guy is unbelievable. Aaron, if you ever check that guy out, just watch all his clinics. Your head will explode. He's incredible, 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 incredible. Ray, here's a message from Ray. Hi, Dirk. It looks like I'm getting a 5-month-old cat, a ginger Tom, getting my first kitten ever. Is there a picture? What is this a picture of? That's like a humanity, a fleet as ain't. It's time to say goodbye. The party's over as the laughter dies. An angel cries. That's a manatee. That's not a kitten. Right? Ray, if you get a cat, the internet is going to explode. It's going to explode because I'm going to be showing pictures of your cat like on the daily. And what kind of phone do you have? Because we need a camera upgrade. We need an upgrade because the cat pictures have to be fantastic. You listening to me? We're gonna put something together and get Ray like an amazing digital camera because you're gonna get a cat. If you're gonna get a cat, it's the end of the world. Very excited about that. I can't wait for you to get a cat. It's gonna change your whole life. It's gonna change your whole life. Then we got Steve in the room with some vintage timepieces. Ooh, chow. Look at that. And Eberhard. And oh, look at that. I love me some vintage. And I love me the rectangular pushers. Pushers. Oh, that's nice. That's very cool. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, you know what he asked me about today? Is Fergal around? This nice guy that I met today, he asked me about Christopher Ward. And I said, you know, I got educated from Christopher Ward from my show. Look at that. Oh, that's a beautiful piece, man. Look at that. I like that shot. I like that half moon shot. That looks great, man. Fantastic. I love that. Thanks, Steve. Another from my vintage collection. Don't wear it much, but definitely stunning. It is stunning indeed. Indeed. And we got a little Eminem madness smoking. Oh, no. Did you have to go and do this? Stop it. This is not fair. The cute factor right there is impossible. That's impossible. Mindy. Look at her. Look at her not looking like, look at her as an angel. Because we knew her as an angel, found out she was a devil, and now look at this. Look at you, you beautiful lady. Oh, she's so cute. That is just the epitome of cute. Oh my God. Look at you, you beautiful baby. Oh. Oh, look at her tucking her face away. All right. She goes, I've had enough of you. Oh, there's the devil. There's the devil. Look at you. What are you going to pounce on? She's going to pounce on something. Oh, devil. Oh. Is Mork under there? I bet he is, right? That's why she's doing that. Mork's under that blanket, right? Oh, yeah. You could say he was under it. Oh, Mork. Wow. He looks like some kind of regal cat there. Look at this, like a king. Oh, Mork and Mindy show. The Mork and Mindy. I'm sorry. That's just too much. That's just too much. That's just too much. Sorry. It's just too much. Too much. That's pretty damn cute. She's so kitteny. How old is she exactly? She's so kitteny. Ken Furby, just some California shots from the trip, Balboa Park. Hey, I went to a wedding in the museum in Balboa Park last year, I think. The Crazy Blue Fountain. It's a very beautiful park. San Diego as a place, that's gorgeous. The park was outstanding. That is beautiful. Ooh, look at this. What is that, like a Mission Rococo? What is that architectural style called? They're both 9 years old, Melly C says. Wow, she looks like a kitty lady. Kitty lady. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that shot. That is whew, wow. That's like a screensaver or like Apple wallpaper. Wow. Oh, yeah. We walked around this thing. This thing was beautiful. Yeah, we walked right down that street. That's where all the buses are over there. It's like where everybody comes, like the center. That park was absolutely. How about that gigantic, crazy old tree that's there? Wow. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. That thing was so gorgeous. We had a really nice lunch there the day before, and then we went to a wedding. It was very, very cool. Yeah, that's one of the most beautiful parks I've ever seen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ken. That was really great. Ray, watch the brilliance of. Oh, yeah, that's a YouTube video. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. JC Kingsley, Basher Gallery, Halloween hijinks from JC Kingsley. What do you got going on here, JC? Oh, there he is. There's the Padre himself. Look at that. Are you giving a blessing to the office there, Father? Oh, the power of Christ compels you. Look at that. Is a scary image over there. What do you got going on here? Stocks and stuff? Look at that. That's hilarious. I couldn't find. I think I might have thrown out my pre-shirt because I couldn't find it. Oh, look at this guy. Here's the whole gang. Wow, scary. That priest outfit is unreal, man. Unreal. One of the best I've ever seen. Incredible. Thank you, kind sir. J.C. Kingsley and Cat Gallery. Rudy, the evil one. Oh, how evil is Rudy? I don't think so. Cats are mischievous, but never evil. Look at that. And of course, oh, look at the eye color. Wow, they're both glowing different color green. Green and white. Father Guido Sarducci, right? It's pretty great. Oh, look at you. Oh, look at that. And with flesh. He's a jumpy baby. Oh, sitting on a book. You know, forget about all the toys and all the fun stuff that you come up with. They just rather sit on a book. Unbelievable. Look at him. Oh, not evil, but beautiful. That's great. Thanks, guys. Thank you for everybody for the Gallery of Bastards today. I can't say how much I absolutely enjoy this part of my show every single day. The Gallery of Bastards.
The Gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots that sublime the absurd. The Gallery of Bashtards. You share them with me, and I share with the world.
Thanks everybody for all of that stuff. So great. Where were we in the chats? Carolyn Martin showed up late. The Ray Ray funds. Congratulations, Ray Ray. Oh my God. She's late to the party. Sorry, Bashers, but she upvoted. Joe LaFaro saw Queen Madison Square Garden in 1979 and 1980. I saw them in 1979 and 1980, Joe LaFaro. I saw them in the jazz tour. My sister Pat, who's 10 years older than me, and she's recovering from her surgery. God, my family's been going through some crap. So the story is my sister Pat took me to see Kiss in 1977 when I was a child, and she took me to see Queen in 79, right? It was 79. I saw Queen in 79. No, I saw Queen in 70, jazz tour 78. I saw them in 79 on no, not 79. I saw them in 1980. It was the Game tour. And then I saw them in 82 at Madison Square Garden and the Nassau Coliseum on the Hot Space tour, which was the last time they ever toured in the United States with Freddie Mercury, because they put out that terrible record. Give me your body. It was so bad. Oh. Body language. Oh man, so bad. Bad record. There's not even one good song on that record. That record is so bad. That was like Freddie Mercury's like, darlings, I'm just cruising all the steam rooms all over the world, and this is the R&B we're listening to. Let's do it. Bad. Meanwhile, Another One Bites the Dust and Dragon Attack were on the other record. And those were both written by John Deacon. Freddie, left to his own devices, not so great. Carolyn Martin with 10 balloons for the Ray Ray Fund. I always say 10 balloons, but I don't ever give you the balloons. But maybe I should be giving you the balloons, right? I should be giving you some balloons. Let me hit some balloons. Hold on. There's some balloons. Carolyn Martin. And we'll do the balloons and a banner, right? We'll do balloons and Carolyn Martin for $10. Let's go. Super chat to you. Thank you, Carolyn Rarison. See the banners? You have to shut the banners off, and if you don't shut the banners off, they'll just keep on going, which is nuts. I need a hot. Oh, well, that's what I should do. I should get a hot button for that. Right there, it goes. Done. Yeah, isn't that great that you saw Queen? Thank you so much, Carolyn Martin. Carolyn Martin. Egyptian friends of mine pronounce Qatar as Qatar. Yeah, well, they're wrong because I spoke to somebody who's Qatarian. Clearly, it's all a setup. Mindy is planning something. That's probably true. Christopher Ward was a VJ on Much Music here in Canada. It's all I can think of when I hear the name. I actually grew up with another guy named Christopher Ward, and he was a criminal. which is nuts. Andrew says, Melly, you will have many years. Of course she will. They're going to be, well, just use Andrew as your dietitian because his cats are 30, which is crazy. She's the meanest little shit on earth, except to my wife. Well, some animals only bond with one person, and that's true. My beautiful Laverne bonded with everybody. She just loved everyone. She was so great. Terrence Trent D'Arby declined Queen, apparently the correct choice, but instead replaced in INXS. Did he join INXS? Wow. Did they really want Terrence Trent D'Arby? I know that they asked George and he said no. And, that wouldn't have made sense either, even though he was great at Live Aid. And that's true. He was great there for sure. Yeah. So I don't know. Andy M. saw Queen. I saw Queen at Live Aid on TV. That's as far as I got. But wow. Starlink is on all the super yachts. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? If you have crazy money, you have to get those boxes, which is nuts. A lot of boxes. Andrew says, cats all look like little furry gods who tolerate us all for treats and pets. They do. They definitely do indeed. JC King says, bruh, just saw a news report. 43 monkeys escaped from the research lab in South Carolina. So here we go. Cue the movie Outbreak. As long as they don't have hemorrhagic fever, oh God, that's all we need. The monkeys escaped. Somebody let them out. Raver says, first time Bashers has gone into the witching hour. The witching hour, yeah. I had a night at the opera on vinyl, and after a house party, many records are missing. Thieves. Naturally, no one had any idea who took them. That's a shame. Everything's on camera now. Jay Seif at the original seen Iron Maiden several times. First time was when they were in support for Kiss in 1979 in Europe. Yeah, they were the opening act for Kiss back in the day. I saw that tour, the Kiss tour. I saw them play at the Palladium. Kiss only did one American show when they introduced Eric Carr, their new drummer, and that was January. No, was it 79? No, it was 80. It was the Unmasked tour, I think, Iron Maiden. Yeah, because Iron Maiden didn't have any records out in 79. Their first record came out in 80. So Kiss played July 24th or 5th at the Palladium. I was at that show. There was an opening act. I don't remember who it was. This would be interesting if somebody knew who that was. I'm not sure of that. But yeah, Kiss went on tour in Europe on that tour, the Unmasked tour, and Iron Maiden were the openers. And I believe that Gene Simmons approached them and said, I just, want to shake your hand and say, you guys are going to be a huge band. That he's smart. He knows. Some 3 are charged in the death of One Direction. In the death of him? Was he murdered? Oh boy. That's crazy. Andrew Olkwich says, Dirk, Laverne had so much love giving to others. She had to be, oh God, don't do that to me, Andrew. Do it to me. Ugh, thank you. Dirk, did I tell you lately that I love you? I love you too, Ray. Thanks, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to have a meltdown now because that just, hey, she's still in my bed, I was watching a meme on YouTube today. It was some cat thing, which I watched tons of them, but I was watching the cat eat from the table and it just killed me, man. It just absolutely killed me watching this kitten just jump up and I just, terrible. Oh, supplied the drugs. His drug dealers were charged. Well, good for them. I hope they go straight to hell. It's okay, Andrew. I love you. Murder due to giving him drugs. Yeah, well, those guys should all go to jail for giving people drugs like that. All the fentanyl fuckers, the FFers, the fentanyl fuckers, they should all go straight to hell. Absolutely horrible. Horrible people. Listen, I know some people are weak, and in weak moments, they reach for something as bad as that. But when there are people around that give you the ability to kill yourself, then they should be charged. You're associated with the death of those people. 1,000,000% you are, Oh my God, look who's here, the beautiful Michaela Dejation. Hey, Dirk, so good to be able to watch from it. Oh, I miss you tons, honey. Well, next week we should be back, right? Let's be back and do it. Doing it and doing it well. Thank you so much, Dirk. Great show. Melly C, love you guys. Joe LaFaro, beautiful, handsome Joe LaFaro. Thanks, guys. What a really fun show this was tonight. Thanks. Sorry I was an hour late. But you know, all my I thank you for all the prayers and stuff. You know, I know my family's been going through some health issues, but you know, my stepmother-in-law is in really like dire shape, and she's doing much better. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart, because this is an amazing show. Thanks to all the amazing super chatters tonight: Andrew Wolkowicz, Joel LaFaro, Nick Sisto, Eric B, OC, Carolyn Martin. Thank you all so much for your super chats. Everybody that used the Patreon Pantheon. I need to put this on the screen every night, because they're the people that absolutely 100% keep this thing going in so many different ways, as do you all by showing up on my show every single day of the week. I'm so grateful to have this platform and this beautiful show. Love you all. Thank you so very much. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see what the plan is. I don't know where the big guy is right now. Usually Friday we do Classic Bashers. If he's en route, I think he's there till next week, because you know, Jer, you know, he's staying with his mom, and she's got a broken arm, and that's like, you know, she can't drive, she can't do a lot of stuff, so it's messed up. So whatever his plans are, fine. I'll still be here tomorrow. If he doesn't want to do a Classic Bashers, I'll do a walkabout to the ends of the earth, faces and places unheard. And I thank you so much, guys. Remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And always remember, when you encounter unkindness, you can't always know what that person is going through. They might be having a really bad day, or they just, you know, might need a little bit of time. Give them enough rope to hang themselves, because you never know what that person's going through. You know, like I said, they're either a really great person, or else they're just a
Basher.